Housing TV Africa, your first in housing development broadcasting.
Hello and welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studio in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mimena Bagudu. Our top stories. Federal government debunks claims of scrapping junior secondary school and senior secondary school. Vice President Kashim Shettima decries Africa's low manufacturing share. Benue State unveils new anthem and symbols to promote unity and development. Ministry of Housing pledges support for architects. On the foreign scene, New Zealand locks out foreign home buyers as golden visa rules eased. We begin with national matters. The federal government has debunked the scrapping of the junior secondary school and senior secondary school education models in Nigeria. Recall that the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, at the 2025 extraordinary meeting of the National Council on Education in Abuja recently brought a proposal for 12-year education, a model of 6 years of basic education, 3 years of junior secondary school education, and 3 years senior secondary education. This proposal has been misconstrued by some stakeholders to mean the scrapping of the JSS and SSS education models. Minister of Education Dr. Tunji Alausa, while clarifying the position of the government on the matter at a news conference, said the information was not true. He added that a key aspect of this proposal is to eliminate the examination barrier between JSS and SSS, allowing for a seamless transition of students without the hurdles of an external assessment at that stage.
And I want to clearly clear the sensationalization that has gone out since yesterday, that the Federal Ministry of Education, the federal government, has scrapped a GSS and SS, primary school GSS and SS education. We have not. That still stays. What we're saying is that we need to move from what we have now as 9 years compulsory education to 12 years of compulsory education as it's obtained in other parts of the world. If you look back into the history of Nigeria, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, people that that went through the primary education then and got up to standard 6, if you compare the level of education, the level of instruction, even as standard 3 then, it's much better than what we get in GSS 3 now.
The minister declared that the ministry will ensure a well-informed decision and undertake extensive stakeholder engagements over the next 8 months, consulting widely with education, policymakers, state governments, teachers, parents, and other key players.
Compulsory education will not be sufficient for our children, and that's why we're proposing that we move to 12 years of compulsory education. And I want to reassure you, this will still stay within the ambit of our primary school, GSS and SSS. What we're saying is that we should think about moving to 12 years of compulsory education. That will also be mandatory. That will be mandatory and free. So 12 years of compulsory education within the main context of 6 years of primary school, 3 years of junior secondary school, and 3 years of senior secondary school. So we have not scrapped primary school, junior secondary school, or senior secondary school, and we do not intend to scrap this. We're just planning on lengthening the number of years that's compulsory from 9 years to 12 years. And before we even get to final decision on this, we will be having a lot of stakeholder engagement. We have to talk to them, we have to go to the government forums, we have to engage civil society, we have to engage our development partners, we have to engage the community as well.
The ministry urged the public to disregard the false claim that JSS and SSS have been scrapped, saying the federal government remains committed to policies that enhance access to quality education while aligning with global best practices. The Vice President Kashim Shettima has expressed concern over Africa's limited contribution to global manufacturing despite its immense agricultural potential. Shettima, who stated this during his keynote address at the opening ceremony of Springfield Agro Limited Crops Protection Chemical Plant in Ogun State, highlighted that the continent's share in global manufacturing remains alarmingly low, accounting for less than 2%. The commissioning of the agrochemical plant aligns with the government's agenda to combat hunger and enhance national food security mechanization through research institutes, schemes, and cutting-edge technology. Shettima stated that the federal government's commitment to supporting agriculture through initiatives like the Green Imperative Program aims to boost mechanization and food production across the 774 local councils in the country. The chairman of Kewalram Chandra Group revealed that the plant, built with an estimated investment of about $12 million, has the capacity to produce around 30 million liters of agrochemicals manufactured in 3 lines of production for a start and expandable to 50 million liters as time goes. And now to Benue State, where the state government, Hyacinth Alia, has officially unveiled the state's new anthem and symbols, emphasizing their significance in fostering unity, cultural identity, and development. The event took place in Makurdi and was marked by a strong sense of pride and commitment to the state's future. Governor Alia highlighted that the new symbols were chosen through a rigorous and transparent process to reflect the collective identity, values, and heritage of the Benue people. He commended the selection committee for their dedication and expertise in ensuring that the symbols truly represent the essence of the state's culture and history.
A history that it's now going to be a part of our definition as a people of Benue State. A history of identity that puts us on the same platform with all the other committees of states in Nigeria. Benue State of our dream is a state where every citizen has access to quality education, quality healthcare, and economic opportunities.
Chairman of the State Symbols Screening Committee, retired Justice Augustine Usha, expressed gratitude to the governor for entrusting them with the responsibility of selecting the symbols.
The concept of a state symbol is a brilliant idea that will not only promote our state's identity, but also foster a sense of unity and pride among our citizens.
Solomon Opev, the committee's secretary, revealed that the new state anthem was crafted from the contributions of 5 finalists, ensuring that it truly represents the spirit and aspirations of the Benue people.
Of 119. We had 119 entries in 3 different categories. And in the space of 2 weeks, we were able to scrutinize and screen and bring them to a total of 5.
Benue State Screening Committee received 119 entries to arrive at the final selections. It is with the hope that Benue citizens will embrace the new symbols with pride and collective responsibility as key to shaping a brighter future of the state for generations to come. The chairman of the Ekiti State Internal Revenue Services, Olaniran Olatona, has debunked the allegations making the rounds that the organization was collecting arbitrary tax from traders in Ado Ekiti. Olatona made the clarification during a meeting with some aggrieved traders at the Ojidu market in Ado Ekiti. He noted that the government, through the service, had no intention of inflicting any pain on citizens, saying the estimated pattern of charging traders known as best of judgment, which was a major concern, was lawful in revenue administration. The Ekiti State Internal Revenue Services Chair noted that the best of judgment assessments are applied in cases where taxpayers fail to submit accurate and complete financial records, as required by law, adding that the approach aligns with globally accepted tax practices. Some aggrieved traders expressed their grievances when the chairman Ekiti State Internal Revenue Service visited them.
They are operating outside official hours. Why will internal revenue go and lock up people's shop by 6 o'clock?
When there is increase in inflation, I think the government should be at least a little bit considerable to do a downward review of tax so that it can relieve people of the burden.
That they have the right under the law to object within 30 days of receiving assessment. But from what we saw there, it was more or less like they wanted their issues to be collectively addressed. And since we will deal with personal income tax, we will still want anybody that has a grievance to come to us. And of course, when we ask them to show evidences that somebody who that paid 10,000 last year was charged 140,000 naira, nobody could produce any tangible evidence. And like I told them there, that if we charge them too high taxes such that their businesses crumble this year, who are we going to tax next year? So it's in our own interest, and even with the ease of doing business that we are promoting in Ekiti State, it's in our interest that their businesses keep on growing.
We'll take a pause here. News stories from the build sector are up next. Stay with us.
Get credible and authentic housing news at your fingertips by downloading the Housing TV mobile app. You can also join the African International Housing Show live from across the globe through the Housing TV mobile app. The mobile app features live streaming and trending housing news. You can locate the AIHS venue via the app, network with AIHS seasoned speakers, and live chat with exhibitors. You can also order house or building materials at AIHS via this app. Download the Housing TV mobile app now from the App Store and Google Play Store. And don't forget to click on the notification button. Available for both iOS and Android users. Housing TV is also on Star Times, channel 149 decoder.
You're still watching Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Now to the build sector. The Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting Nigerian architects in shaping the country's built environment. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Shoaib Belgori, made this pledge recently during a meeting with the leadership of the Architect Registration Council of Nigeria in Abuja. Belgori acknowledged the vital role of architects in a nation building, emphasizing that architects transform inhabitable spaces into vibrant, livable cities, making their contributions indispensable to Nigerians' urban development. The Permanent Secretary expressed satisfaction that previous disputes among professional bodies in the built environment had been amicably resolved, adding that the housing sector is now in a stronger position to deliver essential services. He assured the delegation that the ministry was eager to collaborate with architects to enhance ongoing projects, including the National Housing Program and the Renewed Hope Housing Project. The Executive Secretary of the Borno State Geographic Information Service, Adam Bababi, has reaffirmed the agency's commitment to improving land management and urban development. Bababi, who disclosed these during a courtesy visit of the Chief Executive Officer of African Cities Research Consortium, Professor Diana Milton, in Maiduguri, said efficient land management will ensure the low-income residents own land titles, including certificates of occupancy. The agency has modernize land administration by digitalizing records to streamline the land titling process across the state, saying it will encourage more people to legally own land for residential and commercial uses. Babale, however, sought African Cities Research Consortium's help to train Borno State Geographic Information Service staff in GIS. The people of the Uram community in Oka North local government area of Anambra State has expressed concern over the activities of some land grabbers who operate within the area. According to them, there is a need for the state government to profile these individuals to ensure they do not continue misleading the unsuspecting public by selling illegal lands. The President General of Uram Development Union, Honorable Sir Felix Godwin, and other community leaders made these observations on Sunday while speaking to journalists about the increasing rate of land racketing under the guise of estate development in the area. Sir Godwin stated that the community, being aware of these fraudulent activities, has set up a land committee to ensure that all lands brought in Uram are sold only by genuine owners. From the foreign scene, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Tugar, and his Bahrain counterpart, Dr. Abdulatif bin Rashid Al Zayani, has promised to strengthen diplomatic relations as well as facilitate foreign direct investment between the two countries. This understanding was reached when the Nigerian Foreign Affairs Minister visited Manama, the Kingdom of Bahrain. Other areas of discussion is on enhancing trade and investment opportunities and fostering cooperation in the oil and gas sectors, with particular emphasis on onshore projects and the development of the 8th train LNG. The ministers also deliberated on the training of Nigerian diplomats and collaboration within multilateral forums. Both ministries signed a joint communique officially establishing diplomatic relations between the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Kingdom of Bahrain, with the agreement marking a significant milestone in fostering closer ties and mutual cooperation between the two nations. According to Al-Qasim Abdul Qadir, the special advisor to the Minister of Media and Communications Strategy, this development aligns with Bahrain's ongoing efforts to strengthen international partnerships. Dr. Abdulatif bin Rashid Al Zayani recently chaired the third meeting of the National Committee for Monitoring the Implementation of the Outcomes of the Bahrain Summit Initiatives, underscoring the Kingdom's commitment to global collaboration. Now, New Zealand's ban on foreign home buyers has continued to be a barrier for overseas investors seeking to benefit from the country's more permissive golden visa program. The country will ease its investors' visa and remove the English test by April 1st, but a strict foreign home buyer policy remains limited to citizens, tax residents, Australians and Singaporeans due to trade agreements. New Zealand, however, has streamlined its active investor plus visa to attract wealthy migrants and boost economic growth and infrastructure funding. That's the much we can take on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. Federal government debunks claims of scrapping junior secondary school and senior secondary school. Vice President Kashim Shettima decries African slow manufacturing share. Benue State unveils new anthem and symbols to promote unity and development. Ministry of Housing pledges support for architects. From the foreign scene, New Zealand locks out foreign home buyers and golden visa rules eased. For more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow Housing TV Africa on all social media platforms. Do download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store to stay connected. I am Mimina Bagudu. Thanks for watching and bye for now.